hearing that quote from Gary that's what we live every day here. That's just who we are. So I think every part of it really resonates with what's instilled within us as we work through all the challenges. It's just who Vermeer is.
We could have followed, but our goal was to be the best. I know the blood, sweat, and tears that went into all that. You know, when I see a Vermeer grinder along the road today, that's awesome.
Well, if you go back to like the 80s, for instance, which would be a little bit prior to when we got into tub grinders, you know, regulations started coming onto the market about, you know, open burning of wood waste and that kind of thing. And there wasn't a whole lot of options for processing or taking care of that waste outside of burning.
Before Vermeer got into the grinding business, a lot of this wood waste and organic waste was simply being buried in landfills, and we realized that that is not sustainable. Our landfills are filling up and the life of those are being limited, and there's useful outlets if properly recycled to do that.
You know, when this processing started, some of the early processing machines were hay tubs that weren't really built for those kind of wood waste applications. And Vermeer, just being entrepreneurial, looking at a better way, a way of solving this issue, thought that bringing a more industrial grade tub grinder to the market to go after this wood waste would be an opportunity for Vermeer. Our first tub grinder on the market was a TG400. It's not a very large tub, but it went to the market, was very productive for its size. There was a lot of learning and a lot of development, and I think it's probably interesting to note that it started out with the mill, which is really the heart of a grinder, was based off of a hay tub with swinging hammers that wouldn't take very big product, and so we developed a version of a swinging hammer with a larger hammer, but then it wouldn't penetrate wood. So we used trencher conical teeth to penetrate. But we ended up, it would kind of destroy itself, you know, so there was a lot of challenges there. And so we developed a fixed hammer pin and plate mill. And then eventually what came out of that, because of trying to improve on maintenance and life and that kind of thing, was our duplex drum. So we'd been in tubs for a while, and so there was some market opportunity to go into horizontal grinders. Horizontal grinders, just like the tub grinders before that, we learned so much with that first machine of not only what went right, but a lot of what went wrong.
There was a group of us that were tasked to build a mule prototype horizontal grinder. And we had 6 weeks to build the prototype. And we all looked at each other like, that's great. Honestly, we put together a group of folks and we built that prototype, and we started it in 6 weeks and took it out. Fun fact on that is we took it out behind the plants to grind some pallets and broke it in 5 minutes. So thus the learning began about horizontal grinding.
It was a lot of heartache. We tried things, we used high-speed cameras to capture how the wood shattered. We really went to the next level to truly try to solve the problem. And seeing these guys come back at the end of the day shaking their head and we're like, nope, that didn't work. At some point it just clicked, and we changed a few things in the geometries and locations, and it just like, wow, that works. They went through a lot of heartaches, a lot of sweat and tears to get that to work.
It was that difficult a problem to solve.
There's DNA of the HG525 in all of our horizontal grinders that we build today.
When I think back to the history of grinders at Vermeer, the machine you see behind us, it's that pinnacle, it's all those things we've learned over the years. It's getting to that level where it is a market leader. It just didn't get much better than that.